The evening news. I am Babatunde Fanowo. The federal government has restated its dedication to advancing Nigeria's maritime sector through support for the National Coast Guard Bill. This move, celebrated as a vital milestone in harnessing the country's maritime potential, was highlighted during a one-day public hearing on the bill at the National Assembly complex. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeleke, described the proposed legislation as a transformative initiative for sustainable growth, maritime safety, and resource management. According to Oyetola, the bill, once enacted, will ensure maritime safety, foster sustainable marine resource development, and boost economic growth. He further stressed the importance of the National Coast Guard in safeguarding vessels and seafarers navigating Nigeria's extensive coastline. The Coast Guard, Oyetola pointed out, would also be responsible for protecting the environment by enforcing regulations that safeguard marine ecosystems and prevent pollution. Another crucial function, he noted, would be to respond promptly to maritime emergencies, carrying out search and rescue operations to save lives and mitigate losses. The minister referenced a 2009 report by the African Center for Strategic Studies, which observed that 15 out of 21 independent maritime nations in sub-Saharan Africa operate dedicated coast guards. The Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to President Bola Tinubu, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, has said work is currently ongoing at the 150,000 barrels per day plant of the Port Harcourt Refining Company in Rivers State. Port Harcourt has two plants, including the 60,000 barrel per day facility and the 150,000 barrels per day plant. Ononuga also said the 60,000 barrel per day refinery is operating at 70% of installed capacity and plans to increase production shortly. He further said the refinery receives regular crude oil contrary to claims of lacking the product. He disclosed this after joining a fact-finding team at the 60,000 barrels per day refinery. He explained that the team was satisfied with the state of the refinery. The team, guided by the refinery's managing director, Ibrahim Onoja, toured the entire complex from the computerized control room to the loading bay and every section in between. Pointed questions were asked and satisfactory answers dispelling doubt and misconceptions were given. Ononuga said Nigerians must ignore naysayers and false information about the refinery's operations. While it is not currently running at 100%, it is functioning at 70% installed capacity with plans to increase production shortly. Governor Dakpo Abiodun of Osun State has said most of the disquiet over the federal government-led proposed tax reform in the country is born out of misunderstanding. Speaking with newsmen at the ongoing Africa Investment Forum, Market Days 2024 in Rabat, Morocco, the governor said the resistance to the proposed tax reform was a product of gross misinformation and misinterpretation. According to him, when people are better informed, they will have a much more positive appreciation of what the tax reform represents. The governor said what had been done, subject to a few suggestions and what had been seen, the proposed tax reform will improve the lot of the state of the Federation much better than the status quo. The misconception, according to the governor, is that some of the people did not take time to interrogate and understand the reform. There was also a lot of suspicion around the intention. Abiodun said he is convinced that the purpose of the reform is in the best interest of every subnational government in Nigeria. Governor Dakpo Abiodun explained that at the Governors Forum level, there was a painstaking engagement going on, and soon the cloud will be clearer as everyone embraced reality. Senators will uphold the yearnings of Nigerians in their deliberations and passage of the tax reform bills, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has said. Akpabio added that those who are opposed to the bills will not be shut out of proceedings. He challenged governors, traditional rulers, and other categories of Nigerians who have misgivings to attend the public hearing to air their grievances. He added that nobody can bully the Senate or derail it from its constitutional responsibilities. Akpabio also listed the advantages of the bills while speaking during plenary. Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele faulted reports claiming that the Senate had suspended legislative actions on the bills or that it had been withdrawn. According to Bamidele, the bill is still alive at the Senate. Also, the anticipated parley between the Senate Ad hoc Committee, led by Minority Leader Abba Moro, and Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi SAN, failed to hold. Instead, the Ad hoc Committee held a 40-minute meeting in Moro's office. It was learned that Fagbemi arrived the country yesterday from a foreign trip, hence he could not be at the Senate to throw light on gray areas in the bills as directed by President Bola Tinubu. Addressing his colleagues, Akpabio said the Senate will not be bullied doing its work in the interest of Nigerians, and by the time they come up with a final position, it will reflect the yearnings and aspirations of everyone. The Senate has slammed the generating companies, the transmission company of Nigeria, and the distribution companies over power outages, saying they add no value. It came close to admitting that the privatization of the power sector is a total failure, threatening to initiate legislative measures, including new laws, to repeal the policy. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio led his colleagues in bashing the key operators in the power chain, from the generating companies, the transmission company of Nigeria, to the distribution companies. The lawmakers said the operators had forced Nigeria more into darkness since 2013, when the policy took off, leaving the citizenry helpless. The Senate further stated that the people who took over power sector are just making money from those transformers, and they are not adding value at all. The senators expressed their anger as the report into frequent grid collapse in the country was presented on the floor by the Chairman Committee on Power, Senator Eyinaya Abaribe. Senator Abaribe listed many factors responsible for the frequent collapse of the grid, ranging from aging plants, abandoned projects that cost trillions of dollars, regulatory gaps, security of power infrastructure and vandalism, lack of supervisory control, and data acquisition, to financial prudence. Our weekly Yoruba program, which promotes the activities of Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration on OSBC channels, tagged Imole Ayo, takes the air tomorrow at 6:30 in the evening. The special advisor to the governor on Osun Roads Maintenance Agency, OMA, Mr. Sheyi Babatunde, is our guest on the program. Listeners and viewers can contribute by dialing the studio line when Imole Ayo is on live. Our Chinese national and five other suspects were arrested by the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Anambra State Command, in collaboration with the Federal Mines Officer in the state for illegal mining activities in the state. The head media and tactical operations of the command, Edwin Okadigbo, disclosed this, stating that the NSCDC State Commandant Olatunde Maku paraded the suspects at the command's headquarters in Oka. The commandant said this is part of the resolute determination of his command to discharge statutory mandate in sanitizing the mining sector in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development by cracking down on illegal miners siphoning the nation's resources, causing revenue losses to the government. highlighting the importance of synergy between the NSCDC and the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development. The Federal Mines Officer of the state, Mr. Bolariwa, also emphasized that obtaining a valid license from the ministry and seeking proper guidance were crucial for anyone interested in mining. He warned the public to request evidence of licenses from mining site owners and proof of royalty payments to the government. And on to sports, fresh from winning the 2026 ICC T20 Africa Sub-Regional Qualifier C, Nigeria's male senior cricket team, the Yellow Greens, have continued their unbeaten run at the ILC T20 Continent Cup in Rwanda with 2 wins so far in 2 games. Nigeria secured a 29-run win over Botswana at the Gahanga Cricket Oval to mark the second of the tournament, having beaten host Rwanda by 6 wickets in their opening game. While the win over Rwanda was by DLS method reduced over, the triumph over Botswana was thrilling as Captain Sylvester Okwe and Olayinka Olaleye delivered 45 runs each, just as Peter Aho grabbed 3 wickets in the second innings. Botswana's choice to bowl first in the game didn't turn out to their advantage, as Nigeria posted 185 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs. Player of the match, Danladi Isaac, who delivered 28 runs from 19 balls, also got 2 wickets in the second innings, just as Ao's 3 plus another one from Ridwan Abdulkarim dismissed the Botswanans at 156 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in 20 overs. And on the foreign scene, Syrian rebels say they have taken full control of a second major city after the military withdrew its troops from Hama in another setback for President Bashar al-Assad. The leader of the militant group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, Abu Muhammad al-Jawlani, declared victory in Hama and vowed there would be no revenge. Earlier, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham fighters and their allies took over Mama Central Prison and released inmates amid fierce battles, while the military said it had deployed troops outside the city. Hama is home to 1 million people and is 110 kilometers, 70 miles south of Aleppo, which the rebels captured last week after launching a surprise offensive from the stronghold in the northwest. A rebel commander told residents of Homs, which is the next city south on the highway from Aleppo to Damascus, that the time has come. In the past, President Assad relied on Russia and Iran to crush his opponent, but with both allies preoccupied with their own affairs, it is unclear how or if he will be able to stop an advance that could threaten his government's survival. And with that, we've come to the end of the evening news on OSBC TV. Join us at 7 for the major reports. Good evening.